I'm going to completely demolish the opening paragraph of this article. It's a publication called MCV Developer. They interviewed Carl Jones, who is the COO of CIG. We don't hear from him too often, so interesting. Let's hear what he has to say about it, starting with the very first paragraph, which was painful to read. Now, I criticize this to whoever the author was. I criticize with love, because I appreciate anyone who writes interesting things about Star Citizen. But come on, opening line. Read this. On October 10th, it will be a decade since Crowd Imperium Games. Okay, so typo, I know. Painful and very embarrassing that your opening sentence has already such an error. But the guy obviously had crowdfunding on the brain, and this slipped through every single editor and senior editor that may have looked. I don't know if this is even a senior editor. This could be a one-man operation for all we know. Apologies for not knowing too much about this publication. But opening line already screwed up, saying Crowd Imperium Games, so kind of embarrassing, but we'll live with that. So Chris Roberts announced Star Citizen at GDC. Since that time, CIG's continued to amass an ever-deepening war chest of crowdfunding credits. So why am I picturing a dragon, or like the face of Chris Roberts on it, just hoarding a bunch of money? That's not it. There is no war chest of $422 million. It's not if there's no bank account with $422 million. In fact, since this is in the UK, it's very easy to check the records of CIG UK to see that they break even every year. They just finish slightly in the black or slightly in the red. They use up all the money that comes in because, hey, guess what? It's a large studio with five studios now? 700 employees. They are not sitting on a war chest of $422 million. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but it irritates the hell out of me because we keep on seeing this being repeated by every single dumbass out there that doesn't understand that CIG has not simply collected the money. It's not this one guy named Chris Roberts sitting in the office and just collected all the money. That's not how it is. So to see it repeated here in the opening paragraph is a little disappointing, but let's work through that, right? Let's continue. By most estimations, that makes Star Citizen the most successful game to have never been released. Yes, coming from the creator of the most expensively produced games of the 1990s. That is perhaps no surprise, but what continues to baffle detractors is how, without any release date in sight, CIG continues to gather financial support. So this is something I always invite journalists to ask. They seem to always question, like, how is it? It's a mystery. Nobody knows how CIG managed to do this. Hey, journalists, how about asking actual backers? And I keep on putting myself out there and say, listen, here's my socials. Reach out to me. I'm available. But no, they keep on saying nobody understands. Nobody understands how CIG does it. Well, ask someone. God damn it. Anyway, CIG continues to gather financial support, a significant amount of which comes from a sale of in-game ships that are either unrealized or unfinished. What? So, wow. What an opening paragraph. And I don't understand. Are you attacking CIG? Are you just kind of giving them tough love because you think this is tough love? So, yeah, not completely wrong. Listen, I think the 400i was a very complete ship. One of the few very complete ships. Gladius of a complete ship. But there are a ton of ships. There's a Reclaimer, which is unrealized because salvage isn't in the game. And there's tons of ships with features. Even the Carrack has drones, which are unfinished. So, not wrong. But to say that the sales come from ships that they unrealized and unfinished, it makes it seem as if the buyers are stupid. It's implying that anyone who backs the game is buying this unfinished garbage in a sense. That's what I'm sensing from the tone here. But again, I mean, none of these journalists even bother asking, hey, you bought this ship. Can you explain your reasons? Ask a damn backer. Ask them their opinion. They'll be happy. And, well, okay. So that's the opening paragraph. So, honestly, I think that's the worst of it. Let's just take a second here to appreciate the graphics, the pictures here, which I haven't seen before. So, that looks like a gorgeous, that's a Bengal carrier and two black F8 Lightnings. That looks awesome in black. You know, I'm pretty close to getting the black and gold trim one. Send me all your money. I'll use it just to get me to that level. That's something worthwhile, right? And below that is a picture of looks to be that guy that plays that Jedi in The Mandalorian, and Superman walking with an F8 in the background. I don't believe I've seen that either. Maybe I've just forgotten because old age. But let's dig into the second paragraph now. The appeal for its 3.4 million backers. Already wrong. All right, now, okay, honest mistake here. There are not 3.4 million backers. There are 3.4 million accounts. But the number we got 2 years ago, I believe, was 1.2 paid accounts. Every time there's a free flight event, the Invictus or anything else is free flight. A lot of people sign up to try Star Citizen. They don't necessarily pay anything because it's a free flight event. They just create an account. So there are 3.4 million accounts, not backers. I can forgive that one. The appeal is for 3.4 million backers is that Star Citizen exists, albeit in an alpha form, outside of many of the norms of modern game development. And that is very, very true. There's nothing traditional about the way that this game is being developed, which is why it gets so much attention and so many very stupid people pulling their hair out, crying that they don't understand how it's possible, because it's not the norm. It's something different. And every time someone tries something different, there's always going to be detractors. Do you remember when Elon Musk tried to, before you start freaking out that I'm comparing CIG to Tesla, just stop it, all right? But remember when Tesla started, how people were saying, well, this is stupid, who wants to drive an electric car? And look, electric cars still get a lot of hate from some demographics, but you gotta admit that electric cars from Tesla being first on the field definitely shook things up, and a lot of people were very, I don't want to say confused, or they're very unsure about the future of it, but hey, it's here now. So yeah, don't go losing your mind. I'm trying to compare CIG to Tesla. That's not what I'm doing, and I know someone in my comment section is doing that right now. But what I'm saying is CIG came along with a funding model which is outside of the norm. So yes, and it gets a lot of attention because of that. And as the author of this article and our friends obviously at Massively OP also very, very confused about the model still to this date. And let's move down to the next paragraph here. However, the news last November that CIG's main development studio in Cheshire would be moving to Manchester's Enterprise City, the site of old Granada Studios, with the view of expanding operations to 1,000 staff members within 5 years, seemed to... No. How? Okay, what? It seemed to suggest that while we may never know... Oh, God, I can't even get through the sentence. Bear with me, all right? With a view to expanding operations to 1,000 staff members within 5 years, seem to suggest that while we may never know where Star Citizen will end up or what state it will be in when it gets there, we can at least put an ETA to when that might be. 5 years from now, if our maths is correct, is the year 2027. And because Carl Jones said, I think by that time we'll be operating a very large MMO RPG, says Carl Jones of Cloud Imperium Games. So there'll be a lot of publishing resources, a lot more game masters, a lot more player support that may require us to open facilities in other locations. At the moment, we don't have any major Asia-Pacific presence, blah, blah. All right, so I don't know how he would draw the conclusion, because if CIG is planning to have 1,000 staff members in Manchester within 5 years, does that mean that the game will not be finished until that happens? So in year 4.5, all right, in July of the 4th year, with 998 employees, the game will not be finished. But only at the end of the 5th year, when they hire the 1,000th employee, a banner will magically unravel from the ceiling, confetti falling everywhere, people blowing little horns, a marching band comes through, and will say, Star Citizen has gone gold because the 1,000th employee has been hired and it's been exactly 5 years. That makes no sense. I don't want to put words into Carl Jones's mouth, but that was not the implication that the game will suddenly be complete just because there's 1,000 employees in 5 years' time. And look, it's an ongoing joke within the community itself that Squadron 42 is just endlessly delayed in coming out. Truth be told, I don't know how many people are actually angry about that. I never backed for Squadron 42. I backed for the MMO part, as did most people. I think Squadron 42 is a nice feature to have. And I don't want to say it's the problem, but everything they're making to go into Squadron 42 goes into the PU, and everything in the PU is for Squadron 42, vice versa. So is one thing holding the other thing back? It's possible. But also having more employees, maybe just to focus more on the MMO side, will help. But I don't buy this theory here, or the conclusion that only once there's 1,000 employees in 5 years' time, then the game will be released. I don't know if that's what Carl Jones meant. I guess we'll clarify on that. I don't want to spend too much time going through the rest of the article, but I do want to jump to one section over here, which was mention of the metaverse. All right. Can I just tell you how much I hate the term the metaverse? Now, okay, I'm not pointing at my neighbor who may be watching this video. He came over and he tried my VR for the very, very first time. And he put it on and he's blown away by it. Now he's doing the little dancing with that robot introduction to VR thing on the Quest. And he goes, oh my God, this is amazing. This is what the metaverse is like. So, I mean, I can have meetings in the metaverse here. I'm like, no, stop calling it that. Stop. It's not the metaverse, it's just VR. You older guys will remember when the news went on and on about the information superhighway. Do you remember when the internet was just coined as the information superhighway? And you can simply use this old ancient computer here and click this button and you can access the information superhighway. Nobody calls it the information superhighway, it's the internet or the net. So I don't know if it's just me, but this whole, there's no metaverse, it's just VR. It's just VR. You're putting on goggles, you're in VR, you're in this metaverse. But I do understand it's actually getting traction. I hope it doesn't go there, but it seems like it's going there. So the whole thing of the metaverse is this new layer to reality that you can exist in your real life, and then you can put on VR and you'll be in the metaverse, which is like your second life. And there's things you can do in the metaverse, like meetings and social things that are very closely tied to real things. I get it, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just focusing too much on words here. But anyway, the question was, we couldn't let Carl Jones go without asking about the metaverse. Oh, and to what degree starcitizen might realize the potential advocates of the concept have for it. I think I may have misspoken. Did I read that sentence right? Starcitizen might realize the potential advocates of the concept have for it. Is that English? I'm confused. Oh, never mind. Continue. Predictably, he sees Starcitizen in terms of its immersiveness and the game offering players the opportunity to create meaningful social stories. So yes, this is actually a topic I have in the back burner for a video, and that is that CIG is actually one of the more advanced cringe metaverse companies. They are, if you think about it. CIG has been working on the metaverse long before many of these companies picked up on it. They are creating a game which, well, it's not exactly VR ready, but everything from the position of the head, and we saw hours and hours of commentary how they got their head and the eyes to track properly on the body. It is VR ready in a sense. While VR isn't on the most important item on the to-do list, it isn't on the back burners. And I know this because we've spoken to a lot of the devs who are very huge VR nerds who work at CIG, and they tell us that they always remind everyone to keep in mind that we could one day simply turn on your VR headset and be in the CIG, the Star Citizen universe, or should I say metaverse. So yeah, Star Citizen, one of the most advanced metaverse companies, but I mean, obviously not connected to real life. You aren't just spending UECs and converting to real dollars. There's no such exchange taking place to connect it as a metaverse in that sense. But as far as an alternate reality for you to exist in VR, Star Citizen is right up there. In fact, one of the more advanced metaverse company. I'm going to say metaverse for everything now. Okay, it's stuck. Damn it. So he goes on to say, he made a point that what really differentiates Star Citizen from other games, whether they're considered metaverse or not, is its fidelity, and that is correct. And I always point out small things like the physicalized buttons in the cockpit. It's not very difficult to simply get your VR hands in there and touch a button in the cockpit, which does things like turn on the power, turn engines off, activate comms. It's all built in there. So yeah, Star Citizen, metaverse, right up there. And I'll cover that in a future topic. Be sure to subscribe, and you'll be first to be notified when that happens. So let's finish this paragraph here. I don't think anyone has got the ability to build scale and detail like we can. Correct. Obviously, we have a lot of work to do to create fun within that. True. But we've got tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of players enjoying the game as it is today. True. Maybe one day we'll have something that people refer to as the Metaverse. Yes, all right, it's sticking now. It's the Metaverse. We'll certainly have the technology to build it. True. But that's not our business focus for now. Our focus right now is delivering Star Citizen Quad 42 to the community that support us. That is correct. All right, guys. That was a good video. I'll drop you the link to this article if you haven't already read it. But that's the meat of it. Otherwise, pretty good. Nice to see CIG gain some coverage and beautiful pictures of the F8 Lightning in almost every single picture there. And your comments below, as always. If you enjoy my content, thumbs up, subscribe. Stay tuned for more fascinating videos. I'll catch you in the next one.